Hello future CS, welcome back to my channel again. Your one-stop guide for everything related to CA exams. If you are new here, I am Pooja, a chartered accountant. I have an experience of working for Ernst & Young and KPMG, and I help CA aspirants like you succeed with practical tips, strategies and support. So in today's video, we'll be solving the MCQ from the case scenario 15 from the case scenario booklet for CA Final FR. So guys, I have created a separate playlist as solving MCQs from case scenario booklet FR. There I will be adding all the videos relating to solving MCQs from case scenario booklet for CA Final FR. The link to that playlist is given in the description below. You can access it from there. If you are new to my channel, I request you all to subscribe and hit the bell icon below so that you can get notified whenever I post new videos. So guys, when you visit my channel in the playlist section, you can see there is a separate playlist for CA final exam. And there is also a playlist for CA final auditing, CA final AFM, and also there is a playlist for this case scenario booklet where I'll be adding more videos by solving the case scenario questions. There is also a playlist as CAGPT for students. In this I have made some videos demonstrating different techniques in which you can use CAGPT while preparing for your CA exams. So please visit my channel and you can watch all of these videos. So first we will be reading out this case scenario. I recommend you all to open the case scenario booklet in your system so that you can also solve this case scenario along with me. HS Limited, that is HSL, is a car manufacturing company. During the year, HSL has entered into many transactions, details of which are given below. Transaction number 1. With the intention to expand, HSL has entered into a share purchase agreement SPA with the shareholders of FM Limited to purchase 30% stake in FM Limited as at 1st June 2022 at a price of rupees 30 per share. As per the terms of SPA, HSL has an option to purchase an additional 25% stake in FM Limited on or before 15 June 2022 at a price of rupees 30 per share. Similarly, the selling shareholder has an option to sell additional 25% stake in FM Limited on or before 15 June 2022 to HSL at a price of rupees 30 per share. The decisions on relevant activities of FM Limited are made in the AGM or the EGM. A resolution in AGM or EGM is passed when more than 50% votes are cast in favor of the resolution. An AGM or EGM can be called by giving at least 21 days advance notice to all the shareholders. So let's see the MCQ relating to this transaction. So actually MCQ number 4 relates to this transaction. MCQ number 4. With respect to the SPA entered by the HSL, determine the date when HSL gained control over FM Limited. Option A, 1st June 2022. Option B, 15th June 2022. Option C, on the date of AGM or EGM. Option D, on the date when the resolution for AGM or EGM is issued. So the Ind AS applicable here is Ind AS 110, Consolidated Financial Statements. So let's see the reasoning as per this Ind AS. So as per para 10, control under Ind AS 110, an investor controls an investee when it has power over the investee, that is current ability to direct relevant activities, and it has exposure or rights to variable returns, and it has ability to use its power to effect returns. Now let's see the provisions relating to potential voting rights. That is para B23 to B25 of Ind AS 110. Potential voting rights, example call or put options, are considered in assessing control if they are substantive, that is presently exercisable, and give the holder the current ability to direct relevant activities. So let's apply these provisions to the HSL. On 1st June 2022, HSL acquires 30% of FM Limited and also gains a call option to buy an additional 25% within 15 days. This option is presently exercisable and would take HSL's stake to 55%, giving it majority voting rights. Decisions on relevant activities are made at AGM or EGM with more than 50% vote required. Notice for such meeting is at least 21 days, meaning no changes in the accounting policy can occur before HSL can exercise the option. So therefore, even before exercising the option, HSL has the current ability to obtain majority voting rights in time to effect decision. Hence, this satisfies the definition of power as at 1st June 2022. That is, before the AGM or EGM, HSL has already got a stake of 55%. Because of this, it has obtained the major voting rights in time. Hence, the definition of power has been satisfied as at 1st June 2022 itself. So, let's see the conclusion now. The option is substantive potential voting rights under Ind AS 110 and HSL therefore controls FM Limited from 1st June 2022. Hence, the correct option in this case is option A, 1st June 2022. Now, let's see the transaction number 2. During the year, HSL issued compulsory convertible debentures, that is CCDs, on a private placement basis for rupees 100 lakh. Each CCD is convertible into 5 shares at the end of 4 years from the date of issue, and an annual interest is payable at the rate of 6% per annum. At initial recognition, HSL recognized the liability component of compound instrument at rupees 20,79,063. HSL also incurred expenses of rupees 2 lakhs in connection with the issue of the instrument. Nature of expenses includes fees paid to legal advisors, registration and regulatory fees. So let's see the MCQ relating to this. MCQ number 2 relates to this transaction. MCQ number 2. What shall be the accounting treatment of directly attributable expenses of rupees 2 lakhs incurred in connection with the issue of compulsory convertible debentures? Option A. Entire rupees 2 lakhs shall be recognized as expenses in the statement of profit and loss in the current year. Option B. Entire rupees 2 lakhs shall be reduced from equity in the current year. Option C. A proportion of rupees 1,58,419 shall be reduced from the equity and balance of rupees 41,581 shall be recognized as interest cost over the period of 4 years using an effective interest method. Or option D. Entire rupees 2 lakh shall be recognized as interest cost over the period of 4 years using the effective interest method. The Ind AS applicable here are Ind AS 32, financial instruments, that is presentation, and Ind AS 109, financial instruments. So let's see the provisions now of these Ind AS. So as per Ind AS 32, it requires a compound financial instrument to be split at initial recognition into a liability component and a equity component. And the liability is measured first, that is present value of contractual cash flow at a market rate for a similar liability, and the residual is recognized as equity. And Ind AS 32 and Ind AS 109 require that the transaction cost directly attributable to issuing the instrument be allocated between the liability and equity components pro rata to their initial carrying amounts. And the next provision, Ind AS 109, then governs the subsequent measurement of liability component at amortized cost using the effective interest rate. The portion of cost allocated to the liability reduces its initial carrying amount and therefore affects the interest expense recognized over the instrument's life. The portion allocated to equity reduces the equity component on initial recognition. So these are the three important provisions based on which we'll be calculating answer for this MCQ. So let's see the step-by-step calculation now. So let's see the allocation step by step. So proceeds received rupees 100 lakhs. So the given liability component initially rupees 20 lakh 79,063 and residual will be the equity component. That is 100 lakh minus 20 lakh 79,063. So the equity component will be 79 lakh 20,937. So as mentioned in the previous slide, Ind AS 32 requires a compound financial instrument to be split to liability component and equity component. The liability component is measured first. The liability component is given in the question itself as 20 lakh 79,063. The balance will be equity component. That is how we have arrived at this 79 lakh 20,937. Now we will have to see the allocation of the issue cost of rupees 2 lakh. So as we saw in the previous slide, this has to be allocated on pro rata basis based on the carrying amount of the liability and equity. So let's see the computation. So the issue cost rupees 2 lakh, this has to be allocated on pro rata basis. So the liability share of cost will be computed as follows. 20 lakh 79,063 into 2 lakh divided by 100 lakh. So hence we arrive at this amount rupees 41,581 and the balance amount will be equity share of cost. So 2 lakh minus 41,581 will be equal to rupees 1,58,419. So as mentioned before, rupees 1,58,419 reduces the equity component on initial recognition as per Ind AS 32 and rupees 41,581 reduces the liabilities initial carrying amount and this will be recognized through profit and loss as part of finance cost over 4 years using the EIR as per Ind AS 109. So the correct option here is option C. A proportion of rupees 1,58,419 shall be reduced from equity and a balance of rupees 41,581 shall be allocated to the liability and will affect interest expense over the 4-year life using the effective interest method. Now let's see the transaction number 3. HSL acquired a 40% stake in NM Limited as at 1st January 2022 for rupees 8 lakh and classified the investment in NM Limited as an associate. As at 1st January 2022, the carrying amount and fair value of plant and equipment of NM Limited is rupees 3 lakh and rupees 5 lakh respectively, with remaining useful life of 5 years, that is 20 quarters, from 1st January 2022 to 31st March 2022, NM Limited generated a profit of rupees 50,000. So the MCQ relating to this issue is MCQ number 1. MCQ number 1. At what amount HSL shall carry its investment in NM Limited in its consolidated financial statements as at 31st March 2022? Option A rupees 8 lakh, option B rupees 8 lakh 20,000, option C rupees 8 lakh 16,000 or option D rupees 8 lakh 10,000. So the Ind AS applicable here are Ind AS 28, investments in associate and joint ventures, and Ind AS 16, property, plant and equipment. So let's calculate the investor's share of profit before the fair value adjustment. So NM's profit for the period is rupees 50,000 and HSL Limited share is 40% of 50,000, which will be equal to rupees 20,000. Now let's see the adjustment for fair value uplift of plant and equipment at acquisition. Carrying amount at acquisition rupees 3 lakh. Fair value is rupees 5 lakh. So the excess amount is 2 lakh. Remaining life is 5 years, that is 20 quarters. So now let's calculate the extra depreciation per quarter. Since the fair value is greater than carrying amount at acquisition, for this extra 2 lakh we have to compute the extra depreciation. So the extra depreciation per quarter is 2 lakh divided by 20 quarters, that is 10,000. And HSL Limited share in this will be 40%. So HSL Limited share in the extra depreciation is 40% of 10,000, that is 4,000. So under the equity method that is followed under Ind AS 28, the investor reduces its share of investee's profit by its share of additional depreciation arising from uplift to fair value. So in this, the HSL Limited share of profit 20,000 should be reduced by this extra depreciation of 4,000. So let's see the calculation. Net share of profit to recognize under the equity method. So 20,000 share of profit minus 4,000 share of extra depreciation, that is 16,000. Now let's compute the carrying amount at 31st March 2022. So the initial cost is rupees 8 lakh. Add the share of profit, that is net of fair value of depreciation, that is 16,000. Hence the final carrying amount will be 8 lakh 16,000. Hence the correct option in this case is option C, rupees 8 lakh 16,000. Next we have MCQ number 3. So basically it's an independent general question. This relates to accounting of investments. So let's read this question. Actually, this question isn't directly linked to any specific transaction in the given case scenario. MCQ number 3. With more acquisition at the end of the year, HSL has investments in 2 subsidiaries, 3 associates and 1 joint venture. Which of the following statement is correct in relation to accounting of these investments in separate financial statements? Option A. HSL is required to measure all such investments at cost. Option B. HSL has an option to account for investment in associates and joint venture using the equity method of accounting and carry the investment in subsidiaries at cost. Or option C. HSL has an option for each investment to measure either at cost or in accordance with Ind AS 109. Or option D. HSL has an option to measure all such investment either at cost or in accordance with Ind AS 109. The option is available for each category of investment separately, that is subsidiary, associates and joint venture. So the Ind AS applicable here is Ind AS 27, separate financial statements. So let's see the reasoning as per Ind AS 27. So as per para 10 of Ind AS 27, when an entity prepares separate financial statements, it shall account for investment in subsidiaries, joint venture and associates either at cost or in accordance with Ind AS 109. And the entity shall apply the same accounting for each category of investment. However, in the present case, the investment in subsidiaries, associate and joint ventures are considered to be different category of investment. Further, Ind AS 27 requires accounting for the investment in subsidiaries, joint ventures and associate either at cost or in accordance with Ind AS 109 for each category of investment. Thus, an entity can carry its investment in subsidiaries at cost and its investment in associates or joint venture as financial assets in accordance with Ind AS 109 in its separate financial statements. So the correct option here is option D. HSA Limited has an option to measure all such investments either at cost or in accordance with Ind AS 109. The option is available for each category of investment separately. That is, each category, subsidiary, associate and joint venture is considered as separate category of investment. So that's it guys for this video. We have completed solving the MCQ relating to case scenario 15. If you found this video informative and useful, please like the video and also share the video with your friends. And request you all to subscribe to the channel as well for more exam related tips, strategies and motivation. All the best for your preparation and I will see you all in the next video.